for mounting such a huge esports events in the Philippines?
Of course, for on-ground events like this big, no, technical and logistical challenges will be there. So for us, it's very crucial for us to make sure that we communicate closely, coordinate closely with all the participating organizations or the organizations involved so that we can assure that there's no issue in technical, hardware, software, or anything na makaka-hadlang doon sa event natin. And of course, we need to make sure that we will be able to assist all the players coming in from different territories to arrive here in the Philippines safely. So,
Thank you so much for that question. We do have another question on that table as well, though.
Hi, good evening. This is Axel Enriquez for eSports by Guarda. My question goes to Ms. Sue. Backing off of the last question, the last time we held the Predator League was in 2021, and it was online. Now, how was the Philippines chosen to be this year's host, next year's host, I guess, next year's host after that? Thank you.
Okay, so actually, within the Asia Pacific region, no, there are more than 10 territories, as mentioned earlier. So we undergo a votation process. So modesty aside, actually, Philippines was chosen by the majority. And needless to say, of course, when we talk about Dota 2, we know that we have that solid community, of course, of Dota 2 players already. And Valorant in the Philippines is the fastest growing, if not the #1 game right now in the country. So it's our chance, also opportunity to show the passionate gamers in the esports scene of what Filipinos can bring to the table. Not just our players, but also the rest of Asia Pacific. So it's a democratic votation process within the Asia Pacific countries.
Alright, thank you very much for that question. I'm actually really excited because back then it was sa Bangkok, then at Japan, at now in the Philippines. So for sure, talagang,
Jakarta, and then Bangkok,
Yeah.
and then Japan, and Philippines. We held it online in 2020, but syempre it wasn't the same. So ngayon sana ma-dedicate natin.
yeah, sure. I mean, we're gonna see kung paano matadominate ng Philippines. Walang kabayas-bayas po yun. Alright. Do you have any more questions? Yes.
Since yung Philippines po isa sa mga biggest merong fan base ng esports sa mundo, what can esports fans expect open sa franchise?
Marlon,
You were asking for what can esports fans expect? Definitely, really good showing. I'm pretty sure that the Asia Predator team is going to show the Filipino hospitality from the gamers to the preparations to the hospitality, and definitely yung world-class fans. Hindi naman sa pagmamayabang, ang mga Pinoy fans, hindi sila umaalis pa, hindi na Pinoy din yung naglalaro. Sa ibang mga lugar na puntahan ko, pag wala ng national team, di na sila nanonood. Dito sa Pinas, rap lang ng rap, laban lang ng laban, nood lang ng nood. So yun yung very excited ako para makita para sa mga mag-compete.
Yeah, that's true. And the biggest and the most passionate na fans talaga sa buong mundo, of course, mga Filipinos. Yes, sir, do you have any questions?
On this table, I think. Yep.
Hi, good evening. I'm Jessica from Manila. First, congratulations to all of you and thank you for all the efforts you create the esports community here in the Philippines. My question is for Predator. I know you guys have been sharing a lot of things you're doing to support the esport community, but can you elaborate more? What's the role and what are the things Predators doing to support more the growth of esport community here in the Philippines?
Thank you for that question. As mentioned by the host kanina, we've started Asia Pacific Predator League since 2018. But way before that, we've already hosted local tournaments in the country. So grassroots level, provincial, not just in Metro Manila. As a matter of fact, for example, for our local qualifiers, we held it in different cities or hubs, like in Dumaguete, everyone, all aspiring teams can join. So that's what we do. So that's just one example for this year's local qualifiers. But way back, since 2017, 2016, I believe, we have been, creating that platform already for aspiring gamers and giving them the opportunity, to expose themselves and be able to show the capabilities, and competence of what Filipino gamers are all about.
Thank you, Ms. Sue. And I think Mr. Lon is also adding something to that.
Just to add, Predator is also one of our partners in CBOL, the national team. So they're also giving out support in terms of specifically laptops and chairs, just so that our athletes can actually train better. And they are one of the few brands that are actually supporting the national athlete program that we are actually doing. So for Team CBOL, they're one of our biggest partners.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Ivan from the Philippines. Just a connection made after Sir Lon. Kasi nga, you mentioned earlier that the Philippines is the number one esports country right now. Pero sa Asian Games, lumabili yung Dota team, then sa isa pang esports country, lalaki tayo ng Indonesia. So, how do you think we can sustain this number one status despite the recent setbacks? And how do you think this really would help bring us and go this year?
Initially, on the Asian Games, I would say this one. It's also part of I would say part of the learning curve where we actually engage with different countries na mas malakas na yung esports program. In Asian Games, you have Japan, Korea, China. So that's a different beast from what we've seen so far. But of course, together with Predator and its programs here, that actually supports yung mga upcoming activities namin for the national teams. More tournaments, more chances of us getting scrimmages and getting competitive as we move forward to the next phase of the journey, which is making sure that in the next Asian Games in Japan, lalaban na yung Dota team natin, lalaban na yung Valorant team or kung ano man team yung meron kasi mas ready na tayo because of course, first time natin sumali sa Asian Games. So we're really hoping that the next level is going soon.
It's like, babawi tayo sa susunod na Asian Games. Alright? Do you have any more questions?
Yes. One last question that we have right there.
Hi, I'm Isa from the Manila Times. My question is for Ms. Sumus or Sir Pao or even Sir Mario. I'm just curious about how do you look for esports talents in the Philippines, and we do have a lot, but what was the process like? So how do you choose them?
Specifically for Predator King, as mentioned ni Isu kanina, what Predator did was we combined the on-site qualifiers and the online qualifiers. So the on-site qualifiers focused on far-flung areas in the provinces such as Ligo City, Cebu City, we have Cavite, and we have one here in Metro Manila. So Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and NCR, we had our on-ground qualifiers there. Now, for those who were not able to join the on-site qualifiers, there were online qualifiers. So 4 legs each yun, 4 online, 4 on-site. Just to make sure that all possible talents, all the aspiring esports athletes, lahat ng nanangarap will have a chance to compete and represent Philippines. So that's the process for Predator League. I'm sure for CBOL, you also have grassroots programs. So it really starts with the grassroots programs, I guess.
Yes, so just to add, for the national team naman, what we usually do is we hold tryouts and then we give special invites to those that are already distinguished or accomplished. So we give them like, okay, a heads up na, okay, may tryouts for the national team. Normally the tryouts are held for or 5 months before the actual event para makabuo ka ng solid na team. But normally, those pro teams that are actually made it to the national team actually came from the other leagues like Predator because they are technically the number one eh. So pag nagkaroon na ng national trial, sila naman yung consistent na lumalabas. And happy to say, for Dota 2 and Valorant, we've had good runs. We've had medals from the last 3 SEA Games. So maganda yung national team program natin together with the other leagues.
Alright, thank you for that wonderful question and answer. But one last question. Okay, isa pa po. There we go.
Hi, I have a question for the players. So there are a lot of esports tournaments and competitions, and of course, you all are very seasoned players competing like the DPC and everything. What makes Predator League different, especially since you're playing in front of the Filipino fans? Are there certain experiences that you can share that really showcases how different Predator League is?
I think this Predator League is very exciting because it's the first time to be held in the Philippines, and I'm very excited to see all the passionate Filipino fans. I think it will help the players to play better and perform their best.
Kita-kita natin talaga sobrang parang super prepared na sila. Pero of course, meron din kami questions for the team as well. Ano yung mga preparations nyo going sa ating tournament?
Yung ginagawa namin preparation, yung nagbo-bootcamp kami ng like 1 to 2 weeks before the tournament. Then yun, may everyday schedule kami, nagkikipag-stream kami sa ibang teams. Then yun, doon kami gumagawa ng strategy for the tournament.
Yeah, alright. But last question for your partner later on this call. Sino yung pinakagusto nyo makalaban this weekend? Sino yung inaantay na makalaban this weekend? Or sa grand finals?
Sa narinig ko kasi merong China team, so I think China team yung the best na makakalaban namin.
Alright, so that's gonna be really interesting if ever talaga mangyari yung partner. How about you guys?
For us naman, anything will do. But of course, iba rin yung if Philippines versus Philippines, so siguro, yeah, practice.
Let's see, Philippines versus Philippines. Hopefully it's gonna happen.
There you go. Raymond, how about you?
Ako, sa totoo lang, gusto ko makalaban sa finals ng exhibition.
Ooh.
Kumbaga parang El Clasico. El Clasico for sure. But yeah, for me, talagang super excited na ako what's gonna happen kasi tayo talaga mag-host ng event this weekend. So, that's gonna be really exciting, interesting, and for sure, sobrang action-packed for Dota 2 and Valorant.
Yeah, definitely true. And with the questions, don't worry, if you still have more questions, nandyan din naman sa ground yung aming mga team as well. You can definitely ask around as well. But, of course,
yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Sue Onglen, General Manager of Acer Philippines, Mr. Jim Papalosi, Vice President for Operations of TNC, and Mr. Morgan Marcelo, Executive Director of PESO. Once again, we have Blacklist International, and of course, Execration. Palakpakan naman natin sila. Sinabing word the Valorant, Philippines talaga ang matulog dyan.
Ano Will? Pag sinabi ng Valorant. But definitely, very exciting. Gaya nga ng sabi ng friend natin na si Ikoy, kayo na naman.
Yeah.
So kami rin yung mag-host ng weekend na yun. Kaya kinama sa IG story niya eh.
Yeah. So, parang meet and greet ulit natin. Yung meet and greet, siguro, reunion ulit, of course, the mga esports fans meet ulit. I can see a lot of familiar faces and friends. It's really nice to see all of you ulit sa ating event. And of course, Predator has been a strong supporter of indie games, recognizing the efforts of Philippine indie game developers who continuously push the boundaries of what games can be. It is now our pleasure to welcome Mr. Alvin Uban, Chairman of the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, or GDAP, to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big
So again, I'm Alvin Uban. I'm the chairman of the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, which means I'm old. I was president for 11 years, then they got tired of me, so they kicked me upwards and made me chairman. And not many people actually know that there is a game development industry in the Philippines. When it comes to games, it's usually eSports. That's what really draws attention. And we are part, of one universe. Obviously the biggest difference for game developers is we build games. We actually build games in the Philippines. We've been doing it for a very, very long time. I'm one of the lucky ones. There was this recent series on HBO called The Last of Us. That is such a hit. That was actually based on a video game by PlayStation, which was launched over a decade ago. I was one of the few Filipinos who were actually part of building that game. So ganun nakakatagal tayo gumagawa ng video games in the Pilipinas. Nowadays, I'm busy with doing projects for Xbox, and obviously when we play those AAA or the high-level games, nowadays it's not only stuck on console. Obviously, when we play alone at home, we need the best and the biggest rigs available. I need one also, ang luma na yung gamit ko. Yung address ko, ibigay ko mamaya. So, we were invited tonight to share a small idea. Because we recently forged a partnership with Twitter. I'm so happy to be partnered with people in the industry, especially locally, because much of the work of game developers in the Philippines is usually global. It's always been global because we sell our games abroad, the games that we build. Usually, 99% of the games we work on, we don't launch in the Philippines. It's always abroad. So whenever we get a partner from the Philippines who share our vision, okay, it makes us quite ecstatic. Now, one thing that we really share with the esports guys is we have one of the most misunderstood professions in the country. Diba? Pag sinabi esports, sir, meron akong 7-year-old na anak. Paano ito maging professional esports player? Kala na nakatao madali. Diba? Porque umabot sa level, wow, esports champion na anak ko. Paano kami? Game developer, my goodness, hanggang ngayon, nakita ko tumatawag sa akin para ayusin yung punyat ng printer nila sa bahay. Game developer ako, hindi identity siya. Another thing that most people don't know about is we've actually been running a full 4-year baccalaureate degree in game development since 2012. This is our little way. I mean, it's not ours, but we have developed a course and we continue to curate the course. And we provide our time and treasure by going to all the schools who are teaching proper game development and exposing the students to our current projects. We become mentors. We judge their capstone projects. We do a lot. Now, again, when I say I work with Xbox or PlayStation, I'm proud of what I do. I am really, really proud of what I do. But you see, it's service. It's service. If you're a real game developer, and if you're a real, honest to goodness Filipino game developer, your dream is to build original. You want the same fans not only downloading and buying your games, but the dream is to have a league this big with all the Filipinos chanting your team's name. So, one thing we always need support with is exposure. So when the very, very few and special members that we have in GCAP actually make games, we need to present it to the public. Ang hirap nun, because our games are smaller, not that flashy, the budgets are smaller for indie games. So we need all the support we can get for people to host us in large events. And it started last year, I think in Conquest, when the kind people from Predator reached out and offered us spaces for indie developers to show our countrymen what we can do with games. And now we have plans to further that. So parang we're now part of the package. Every time AC Predator has a big event, we will be squatters. No, we will be given more spaces for indie developers to again show what they have to the Filipino people and hopefully enjoy the game and support the game by downloading it and playing it. And who knows, one day that great large Filipino game can happen, and who knows, it could even be an eSport. So that is pretty much game development in the Philippines. But before I go, I actually have a very personal, I have a debt of gratitude, a personal debt of gratitude to Predator. And I don't know why Marlon did not mention this. So in 2019, we hosted the SEA Games, if you remember. Marlon and I, you're part of a little group that had to assemble the eSports program for the 2019 SEA Games without a budget. So my role there was that I was the first national team manager for our first team, Seaboard. The first Seaboard. I was the national team manager. Ibig sabihin, tagahanap ng pera. Alright? And we did our best. We did our plans. We got the quotations on how to produce a stage, what equipment that we need from phones, everything. With weeks to go, we realized we made a fatal mistake. Wala kaming PC. Wala pa kaming gamit. I don't know what happened. We made a mistake. And I was gonna cry. Because we were able to raise almost $1 million from sponsors overseas. We were able to get support from other local stakeholders to provide the training for our first national athletes in eSports. We were all successful there. But oh my God, we did not have the high-end PCs which were required to play eSports for SEA Games. Lo and behold, a few nights later, it was whispered to my ear, "Sir, it was the 2019 Asia Pacific Predator League, and the equipment just landed in the Philippines." And it made it to us. So not many people know that our first batch of medals in eSports is credited to Asia and Predator League. And for that, on behalf of the people who assembled the eSports in the 2019 SEA Games, we thank you for your service. Maraming salamat, and we wish you the best in the future.
Tayo pagdating ng